Hey guys, welcome back to Flat Creek Outdoors. It is time to get working on some firewood again. A couple videos ago, I took down these trees along the field edge. I think there are a total of, what, 4 trees here? We've got 1 oak, that's the one closest to me, 1 gum, 1 poplar, and 1 maple. Wasn't intentional, I was trying to get a mix of species. That's just so it happened. We're trying to clear along this field edge. There's just a lot of encroachment over the years on the field edge, and we're just kind of taking down the trees that are closest to the edge and the ones that are leaning out over the field, and just so happened to be that's what those trees were. They'll all make decent firewood. The gum, I'll probably just make fire pit wood for us here because it's not the greatest. But the other stuff, especially the poplar and the maple, it's great outdoor fire pit wood. It makes a good flame. It doesn't burn that long, doesn't burn that hot, but it makes a nice flame which people enjoy around the campfire. So I'm gonna get suited up and get started on this stuff here, especially the oak, because I want to get it cut, split, stacked, and start seasoning as soon as possible since it's the most dense and it takes the longest. So let's get to work. Carry all is just about full. I'd say 3/4 of the way full. My experience with green, red oak like that, it's really heavy. That's probably about as much as it'll lift on the back. I'm gonna try to grab a couple logs off this next tree and pick them up with the forks, and we'll take all this stuff back to the wood yard. Not a bad hour and a half of work there. So we've got the carryall full of oak right on the other side of the camera here. This is stuff that I had in the trailer the other day. You can see there, just a mix of blocks and sizes. So I need to split through some of that. But I had to use the trailer because I had to go pick up some lime and some fertilizer, and we're going to be using that for planting Christmas trees, which I'm actually going to film later today and into tomorrow. So if you're interested in seeing Christmas tree stuff, check out my other channel, Woods Tree Farm. I'll leave a link to it in this video's description, and you can check out some of the Christmas tree stuff. I know a lot of you guys already follow me on both channels, but I figured I'd throw that out there. And the wood pile here is filling up pretty nice. Everything, you can see there's a couple posts right there. Everything on this side of the post is all oak, and everything on that side of the post is mixed other woods. There's maple and elm and maybe a little bit of gum over there and maybe a little bit of poplar. But anyway, I'm trying to kind of start separating it. I used to kind of just mix everything all together, but I'm separating it all out so next year I can control kind of what goes where, and I might end up pricing it a little bit different. But anyway, that'll be something else for another day. Probably about another hour or so before the family shows up to start helping with Christmas trees. So I'm just going to work splitting here a little bit, and we'll see how much we can get done. I know some of you guys out there do firewood. You like to have these like monster wood gathering sessions and then monster splitting sessions, and you go back and forth. I don't know. I'm a little ADD. I get bored with doing one thing too long. So now that I've got this stuff here, it's ready to go. I'm gonna get splitting on it. I've got those other rounds from the trailer. I'm gonna get splitting on those. And then tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to gather some more of that wood that's down along the field. Or I can also start cutting on this stuff that's over here on the other side of the four-wheeler, because we got a whole bunch of that over there. I don't know. We'll see what we get into. So that was only about 30 minutes of splitting. I got this little pile here done. That's a little bit less than when I did the 30-minute speed test a couple weeks ago. I wasn't trying as hard to go fast with this load, and a couple of those rounds were pretty big and they were a little, a bit much to manage. So just didn't get quite as much done in that same 30-35 minutes. That's all I got left though. That looks pretty good. I didn't touch any of those rounds yet, so I got plenty of that to do, but time for me to move on to my next task for the day. So thanks for following along, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you got questions or comments, leave them below. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.